got that string around my finger. Lucky me, can't you see I'm in love? I've got a song that I sing, and I can make a rainbow anytime I move my finger. Lucky me, can't you see I'm in love? Life's a wonderful thing, as long as I've got that string. I'd be a crazy so-and-so if I should ever let her go. Hey, I got the world on the string, I'm sitting on a rainbow. I've got that string around my finger. Oh, what a world, what a life, I'm in love. Hey. Life's a wonderful thing, as long as I've got that string. I'd be a crazy so-and-so if I should ever let her go. Hey, I got the world on the string, I'm sitting on a rainbow. I've got that string around my finger. Oh, what a world, what a life. Oh, what a world, what a life. Oh, what a world, what a life. I'm in love. It's a wonderful thing to have the world on the string. Yes, it is. Oh, all right. Thank you.
The reason why we have this event is 10 years ago, my daughter Madison lost all the hair on her body, and she was diagnosed with alopecia areata. It got worse, and her eyelashes, eyebrows, and all the hair on her body fell out. We had a great support group of friends and family that volunteered to help us with the support group when there was just nothing out there. Sacred Heart School did a fantastic thing by letting everyone in kindergarten wear hats. And as we were moving forward in this journey, we realized Maddie was pretty good because of our family and our friends in the school. So we decided that we wanted to find other kids, and we did. And then we found more. And then what started out as a local little support group grew into a nonprofit. And then we went into other states. So 10 years later, we have over 25 support groups. We're in Mexico, South Africa, Hong Kong. We're all over the world, and we're helping kids with 3 very simple things: self-esteem, support, and awareness. We're not looking for any cure, because a cure is tomorrow. And I really don't care when they had hair. I don't even remember when I had hair. We're always thinking about today, because today is the best day of your life, no matter what day it is. So we want the kids to feel great. By everyone coming here tonight, what you're doing is you're helping us help these kids. And I can tell you that we don't have a staff, we don't have high-paid consultants, we're not doing feasibility studies. This is as grassroots as you get. And it goes to show you that you can pretty much do anything you want if you choose to do it. So 10 years later, here we are at our 10th anniversary. We have great silent auction items, great music with Reminisce and Bunch of Funk, 2 bars, where we're going to have great food open up in a couple of minutes. And then at 8:40, you're going to hear me again, and I'm going to be introducing to you 2 kids with alopecia. So if you came 2 years ago, you heard Madison. Last year, you heard Kevin Wins. This year, you deserve to hear from two kids. So we have Alex Palloway and Aaron Friedman. They're going to talk to you a little bit about what life is like not having hair. And you're going to see a slideshow from both of them. Look at the screens, our sponsors. If it wasn't for the sponsors, we definitely wouldn't be here. For everybody that's here for the first time, welcome. How many people have been to every single Spring Spectacular? All 10. And that's the greatest thing about this. We get all these new people coming in, but we still have people that support us, and we're very proud to have new people and old people. Some of us really old. But thank you for coming. Food is going to be opened up right now. It's 8 o'clock. 8:40, you'll hear me up on the stage. I won't sing. But thank you very much for coming. I appreciate when she comes up here, if she was dancing, she probably wouldn't be a little shy. But I know everyone's going to enjoy listening to her, so everyone give a big round of applause to Alex Palloway.
Hi, my name is Alex Palloway, and I am 13 years old and have been a CAP kid for almost 9 years. I was diagnosed with alopecia areata at age 4. What most people don't realize is that it's all my mom's fault. You see, her family's from Greece, and she grew up with a lot of thick, dark hair. So after having my brother, when she got pregnant with me, she prayed that if she had a girl, she wouldn't have the hair issues that she had growing up. And as we can all see from my awesome hairdo, God has a sense of humor when He answers our prayers. Since I was so young when I was diagnosed, I didn't worry about my hair very much, and didn't care what people thought of me. I did still want my hair though, and my parents just wanted to make me feel good. So we tried a steroid for 6 weeks with no visual results. Then we tried a cream for my head. But as soon as it started doing what it was meant to do, irritating my head, I wanted nothing to do with it. We tried some natural treatments too, but nothing worked. After that, I never wore anything to cover up. I was just me. But when kids started staring and noticing I was different, I started to wear a bandana. Not a wig or hat to cover my whole head, but just a bandana. Soon enough, kids started noticing how good I looked in a bandana, and they all started wearing them too. I did regrow my hair in 2nd grade. It got pretty long too. But as it grew in, I lost hair in other areas like my eyebrows. My hair hasn't quite decided whether it wants to stay or go, and I haven't regrown a full head of hair since. When I was growing up, I was among the very fortunate because no kids ever really looked at me funny or bullied me. This is partially because of my mom. She jumped at every opportunity to inform people about alopecia. She had letters sent out to every family and all the staff in school to inform people. She told my dance and gymnastics classes. We took part in the CAP book program, where CAP donates a book about alopecia to your school library. And once I got to middle school, she had Mr. Wojtowicz come in and speak to my grade, not only about alopecia, but about not judging people by their appearance because you never know what's going on in their life. Mr. Wojtowicz and the CAP organization have helped me and many others growing up dealing with hair loss. CAP has given me confidence just by bringing kids together to show me and them that we aren't as alone as we seem. With this new confidence I obtain, I can go anywhere or do anything with my shiny head held high, not caring what other people thought of me, because if anyone had a problem with me, that was their problem, not mine. CAP isn't just for the kids. CAP also helps the parents. There was an online chat that I know my mom had used for parents to discuss how their kids are doing and any of their concerns. Also, at the monthly meetings, while the kids are enjoying each other's company, the parents get a chance to talk about dealing with alopecia at home. CAP also gives sample letters that parents can use to send to school, like my parents did. These resources definitely help my parents because, as any parent would be, my parents were scared. Not for themselves, but for me and how I and others would deal with my alopecia. My parents were willing to do what it took to make me feel comfortable. My dad even offered to shave his head for me, but I thought that was a little bit too weird. But they never made me do anything. They never forced me to do treatments, because if the treatments were worse than a disease, then it's not worth it to us. But CAP helped my parents by showing them how I could deal with it. And since I was confident and comfortable with my condition, so were they. CAP didn't really change my brother that much though, because as far as he was concerned, I was already strange enough. A little hair loss was no big deal. But CAP did teach him that sometimes he would have to stick up for me or explain my condition to someone. When I was too little to know what cancer was, older kids would take one look at me and tell each other that I had cancer. I didn't know what to do, but my brother looked them in the eye and told them they were wrong and explained why. My brother and my parents have been a great help to me growing up with my condition. It also helped that I was so young when I was diagnosed, so people at home get used to me not having hair. Having CAP in my life from the beginning has made a world of difference to me. I grew into myself without being self-conscious of being the only different looking one. But I've met lots of kids that weren't as lucky as me and got diagnosed in their teen years, and it's been amazing to see what CAP does for them. New kids will come to their first meeting with hats and wigs because they feel insecure, but a few meetings later, they will come as they really are with no hats or wigs because they know they aren't alone anymore and no one's going to judge them. CAP has changed many kids like this. Every year, we have Alopecia Palooza, a camp where all the kids and adults from many states and now even other countries meet, have fun together, and face alopecia together. It has been a privilege every year to go to Alopecia Palooza and see new kids, scared and insecure, rip off their hats and wigs to show us their true selves. And they do this only having known us for a few short days, and that is proof of the amazing effect CAP has. CAP also teaches kids that no matter what people say about you, you can do anything you want to. For example, over the years, I have met Miss Delaware Kayla Montel, pro athletes like Olympic gold medal Sasiana Stitz, models, actors and actresses, an NBA-based basketball player, a Hollywood stunt coordinator and a special effects director, a CNN news correspondent, and many more, all with alopecia. None of these people have let anyone else get in the way of their dreams. These are just some of the wonderful things CAP does. This is why it is so important to me and all of us that you are here tonight. By supporting CAP, you are helping children and other families like ours get past the difficulties that come with alopecia areata. CAP helps to educate and inform people about alopecia, but more importantly, CAP provides us support to help build self-esteem and confidence in kids so that we can own our alopecia and not let it own us. CAP started out with 4 kids at the first meeting and has now grown into an international organization. But CAP wouldn't be able to help as many people without your help. So thank you for coming and supporting CAP.
I'm surprised she let you look at her, because back in the old days, that's great. She's been with us for years. But the nice thing is, a lot of the things that she was referring to, like Alopecia Palooza, we have that in different states. So it's a little bit easier for some of the families to attend, because if you're on the West Coast, it's expensive. And every time we have this camp, we have 300 people that come, and we pay for all the kids with alopecia. It's tough enough in today's economy that we just want to make sure that the kids are taken care of. So what she's talking about is a lot of the things that we do. We're having kids from all over the place, and we met this fine young gentleman, Aaron Friedman, and the thing that I thought was incredible about him was his confidence, even more so than I would have ever dreamed, and how proactive the family was, and how his attitude was just one of, listen, this is the way I am, this is what you get, you don't like it, tough. So I did a documentary with him, and like 2,000 people on YouTube saw it. It was just great, and we were thinking we wanted another kid to speak, and I'm like, you know what, we're gonna have another boy, and it has to be Aaron from Cleveland, Ohio. So Stacy, his mother, runs the Ohio support group, and they do a lot of great things. So let me introduce you, Aaron Friedman.
Hello everyone, my name is Aaron Friedman. I'm 16 years old in the 10th grade, and I'm from Solon, Ohio, a suburb of Cleveland. I was diagnosed with alopecia when I was 13 years old, and it was at an already difficult time in my life, just as I was becoming a teenager. I wasn't really scared when I was first diagnosed in October of 2010. I thought alopecia sounded cool. I knew a young first grader who went to a camp that I worked at. He had alopecia and always had a positive attitude about everything. I thought of him whenever I thought of alopecia and knew not to be afraid. I was cool and confident about my alopecia, and even if I had half a head of hair, I knew not to be afraid and would still show it off with pride around my middle school. The one thing I did have trouble with, however, was that I always felt alone. Only 2% of people out there have alopecia, but at that moment, other than myself, only 1 out of the thousands of people that I knew had alopecia. That was what scared me the most. In the whole world that existed to me, I only had one other person like me. Only one person who could sympathize with what I was going through. Later that year, however, that number tripled, from just 1 person to 3. A close family friend was diagnosed a few months after myself, and I also met a coach in my younger brother's basketball league who also had alopecia. While it was great that I finally had multiple people who understood my feelings, I still felt empty inside knowing that out of the 7 billion people on this earth, only 3 existed to me who I could vent to about my struggles and they would know what I was feeling. After a few months of unsuccessful treatment by my dad's client and dermatologist, I was referred to a specialist on alopecia. She started me on some chemical called DPCP. While it was supposed to make my hair grow back, for the first year or so, it seemed to do a better job at smelling bad and making my head burn than growing hair. I began to grow frustrated. In March of 2011, I faced another turning point in my life. My mother made the executive decision to send me to a shrink, confusing me immensely. Why would I, a kid who could cope with his problems and roll with the punches, need to go to a doctor and talk about his feelings? Throughout my experiences with alopecia, one thing has been nearly constant until earlier this year. Every Thursday at about 5 p.m., I'd be forced out of the house and have to talk about my feelings to some guy in a rolly chair who happened to have a diploma hanging from his wall. That same month, I made a very fascinating discovery. A website called Alopecia World, a place made specifically for alopecians just like me. I now had a seemingly unlimited amount of people around the country and even around the world who were experiencing what I was and could provide me advice and tips on how to get through things. While this sounds like it would have changed my life, I'll be honest, it didn't. Sure, I had people like me who I could ask advice from, but we were on opposite sides of computer screens and would never meet face to face. There seemed to be more ads for hair loss treatments and wigs rather than actual postings, and that really turned me off. I wouldn't have any lasting impact from the site, and because of this, I stopped visiting soon after I started. That summer, my life was forever changed. From some random website, my mom discovered this camp for bald kids called Alopecia Palooza through some organization called CAP. We didn't know anything about it other than the dates, location, and how much it cost. To a 13-year-old me, it seemed pretty sketchy. I didn't have any reason not to go, however, so my mom, dad, and I set off for Camp Campbellgard in southern Ohio for Alopecia Palooza 2011. I went into Alopecia Palooza scared and unsure what to expect. Were there really hundreds of other kids out there with alopecia, just like me, and were they really all gathering all in one spot? Over the weekend, I came out of my shell and met some of the most inspirational people I've ever met to date. I got to meet some very close friends with alopecia, and they really understood what I was going through and didn't try shoving a wig on my head or shoving a hair loss treatment down my throat. They could really sympathize with what I was going through. That weekend was probably one of the best weekends of my whole life. Through my whole experience with CAP, there has always been one constant thing. Every CAP kit at every CAP event goes free, regardless of location or activity. Without the supportive and generosity of people like you, none of this would be possible. Because of this, I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. CAP has made an immeasurable impact on my life and the lives of countless others, and this wouldn't be possible without any of you guys. I can't thank you enough for your generosity and support, and hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
So our kids are very sad. So a lot of you just know about us because you might know Betsy, where is Betsy? There she is. If anybody gets emails or anything like that over the last, 6 years, she's pretty much been the heart and soul of the machine behind CAP. I've been the guy that irritates you on Facebook. I'm sorry. No, you know what? I'm not sorry. I make no apologies for my passion. You know why? Because I don't care if you like what I send you. You just listen to 2 kids, and there's thousands more like that. If I stop doing it, they don't get the help, you don't come, and we go away. So, no apologies. But I promise you, I'm going to stop talking now, because who's coming up next is a bunch of funk. Now, this is the 10th year. Next year is the 11th year. So we decided that for the 11th year, it's kind of like starting over. So we are going to reinvent the Spring Spectacular. It's going to be different than this. It's going to be fun, which tonight is, but it's going to be more fun. So, if anybody learned anything about alopecia tonight, if anybody was inspired by one of the 2 kids, or talking to somebody else, or looking at the pictures of the camps that we have on the booths, and you think that you might be able to invite 2 more people, maybe buy 1 more raffle, or make an extra bid, it's going to be bigger and better next year, and it's just going to help us do more. And one of the things that we will be doing more of, we have Alopecia Palooza 1 time a year. We're going to have 5 CAP Kid Camps all over the country. And it's because of your generosity that we can do this. So, we're going to be able to reach out to kids in California, in Texas, Ohio, North Carolina, and here in Pennsylvania. And I just want to thank our 2 main sponsors, Nugo Nutrition from Pittsburgh, and Freedom Toyota, right up here in Hamburg. I can't announce everybody. Look at the program because all are in there. And then the supporting sponsors, Big Vision Foundation. You can clap. Morgan Stanley and the Fujihara family. And the third one is actually our longest sponsor, Discovery Federal Credit Union. Just a real quick story. We were at Body Zone 10 years ago and we had a little booth. We colored on the back of Maddie's head a face. She's walking around, Dorothy Hamill was skating. I really didn't know what the heck I was doing. I just knew I had brochures and I needed to give it to people. So this guy comes over, he's like, hey, you know what, I want to talk to you and you know, I want to know what you're doing. So I'm like, all right. And I'm thinking he's just a tall bank teller. So I'm like, hey, yeah, sure, Ed Williams, this is what we do, and I have no idea what the hell I'm doing really, but I want to do something more. So he's like, all right, well, give me your information, and he disappears. Then all of a sudden, I get a message from the CEO, president of Discovery Federal Credit Union, and said Williams. And they have been very generous over the last 10 years, and Eric and everyone else that sponsors. I'm a pain in the ass, and I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for that. But we have to get good sponsors and people that love to help. And this community is generous. This community, I don't care what you say about Reading, Pennsylvania, this is one of the most giving and generous. Every year for 10 years, we've made more money at this through a horrible economy. And it's not because we have all these big shots on our board or that we were able to do a lot of great things just because it's in the newspaper or it's here or it's there. We're actually doing the good things, and we have great sponsors. And I just want to thank everyone that's here. And everyone that's not here, you need to tell them to come, because this event truly makes a difference. Thank you, and no more announcements from me. Reggie is going to be telling you when the booths are closing, so I get to enjoy myself for the first time in 10 years. So buy me a drink, everyone. Bunch of Funk featuring Reggie Brown.
Everybody is somebody. This man is serious. Sing it for me. Everybody is somebody. Camera, where's your head right camera? Get a picture of this. Everybody is somebody. Oh, he got all this spirit. Well, it's something that you really can't tell. You've been running around the every day and taking care of business everywhere. You got to get yourself together and dig on what you got, 'cause what you got can show no even lie. What's the worst to say?
We